What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 4 of Up to Speed. We've got a few topics to talk about today, including the crew beta, car damage in racing games, and, well, Driveclub. So we'll get into those. I'm here with Martin and Cam again, as you can see at the side as well, with my awesome layout.
Is that taking a dig at me? Because I haven't got a layout yet.
No,
I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it, okay? Jesus.
Okay. So, what we'll do first is talk about the crew beta, kind of wrap up on that because that just finished, which is kind of I don't know. Every time a beta finishes for the crew, I'm like, what do I do now? I'm lost because I go back to other games and it's like it's not the same. I can't do as much, and even though like we're really limited in the beta, like all we've got is I don't know how many cars is it? Is it 8, 10, something like that? And we've we kind of get to about level 200 of that car, and then we're just driving around aimlessly doing nothing. But it still feels like we're doing much more than we could do in other games. So I don't know. But what I wanted to talk about is kind of wrapping up everything and really saying what I'm kind of most excited to try as soon as I get on the full game. So I thought I should actually. Cam, you should go first because I've got a lot.
So the beta wrap it first.
Yeah.
Okay, so the beta overall, I mainly played the PS4 beta. However, I did play a bit of the Xbox One beta too. Overall, I would say I was pretty pleased with the beta. I thought overall they did a pretty good job. The actual handling model was a lot better on the PS4 version. It felt a lot smoother, a lot crisper than the older PC versions. However, for some reason on the Xbox One version, it felt a lot more slippery. That's something you'll notice if you played the 2, which we'll talk about in a minute. But I thought overall, really good job. In terms of physics and handling, they've really solved every other problem I had. And I can't really say there was many other issues. Maybe one slight issue for the Xbox One version specifically is it felt like I was being punished for everything I did wrong. But besides that, everything else was pretty good, to be honest. I mean, I not anything else to say. It was just great beta. Basically, like the same as the other ones. Cracking job, Ivory. Well done.
Right. What I've got to say is I haven't played the beta, but I've watched a lot of footage. In fact, I also watched Cam's footage, and I noticed that they still haven't integrated wheel sizes and dimensions. And I really think their customization looks really good so far, and I really don't want them to slip up on this simple aspect.
Yeah, actually, you've led me onto a great topic. That's one thing I forgot. Customization menus, they need to be cleaned. It feels so like just everywhere at the moment. When you go into a bumper menu, it's got 3 types of bumpers. So like you have one with a different type of bumper layout, then one will have a different headlight, and then one will have a different thing. They need to sort out the menus because at the moment it's so messy and it looks ridiculous. But besides that, yeah, I agree with Martin. I want to be able to, change the size of my rims, change the ride height, just generally make the customization cleaner and add a few more features which will make everything a bit more personal. But yeah, I agree with what you said, to be honest. Oh yeah, and painting the wheels as well. That's another thing that they didn't add.
Because what they've done is put black rim, gold rim, silver rim, and different variants.
That is kind of annoying because I go onto a page of rims, and I swear they've added some since the last beta, because I went on one page, it's like 360 types of sports rim or something, however which one it was. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to go through all of these,
exactly.
And it's like there is a lot of them, but where it comes to bumpers, there's about 6, 9 bumpers a car, which I can kind of understand if it's like, if you just choose through the bumpers like that. But for the rims, I think it should be choose the rim, then the colour, because there's like 360 to go through. If you did the math, you can see that there's a lot less rims than that because it's just, colour based. But I mean, with bumpers, as I said, as long as there isn't a huge amount, I think it's fine as it is.
What they need to do with bumpers is they need to make the exhausts and headlights separate. They need to be separate categories. And then what they need to do with the rims is cut down all of the super colours, because that just spams the menus, and make that accessible in the paint options.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I think that's all right.
That's perfect.
And they need to add a vinyl editor and a vinyl marketplace, and everything's sorted. Best game ever.
But yeah, as you were saying before, the handling model of the Xbox One version felt a bit different. And I kind of what I did actually to the main reason I played that, I was going to make a video with AR12 because he was going to do the challenge on that for the week, and I kind of got on the game, got to level 10, and thinking that they'd already got to level 10 and stuff to do this challenge, and turns out they actually got to level 2. So I kind of wasted my time getting to level 10 for something like 2 hours. But yeah, the handling model overall in that game on the Xbox One version felt a bit kind of like a less grippy. I'm not sure if it was mainly to do with the controller difference, or if it was because it was actually a later build of the game. The PlayStation 4 version was like, it ended in 980, and the Xbox One version was like 990 or something. So I don't know if that's like they've changed it on the Xbox One because that is the newest build, or if it's just because the controls are a bit different. I played around with some of the controller settings on the game, on the Xbox One version. I think I turned down the sensitivity of the steering, and that seemed to make it, I
turned mine all the way up.
I turned it down on the Xbox One. It seemed to actually make it a lot better for me. But then obviously I moved on to the wheel, but I can talk about that later. That was like completely different. But yeah, there were actually more wheel controls in the Xbox One version as well. So I'm guessing that's because it's a newer build, as I said. But I want to know, is the handling model different? If anyone actually played both or played the Xbox One version, did it feel more slided than the last beta if you played that? Because I think they updated the handling model in that one as well. I don't know, it just felt a bit
I'm 100% convinced they did.
They must have changed it because it felt very, very different.
Because if it was just you, then I would be like, you just know, it's no. But it's the fact both of us noticed the difference.
Yeah.
And I definitely noticed.
But
the
now
difference
it's like, is it actually just because it's on that controller, that system, or
the thing
is it
I've
because
played
it's
a
an
lot
actual change?
I played a lot of games on the 360 and the Xbox One, like racing games, so I'm used to both controllers. As where I played loads on the PS3 as well. So that's no, trust me, they have changed it. I can definitely tell. But if you guys, did notice a difference and you play both, let us know.
Yeah, definitely.
No harm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was going to do a comparison. One thing I need to talk about. I was going to do a comparison of the two because I did notice a graphical difference. Not like huge. There were a few more jaggies on the Xbox One version. Sometimes you saw dropped frames like a lot more often. But other than that, it was exactly the same texture-wise and stuff. But I completely forgot what I was going to talk about.
That's awkward.
I forgot. Like I was going to lead it onto something.
I guess I can talk about.
Yeah, go on. While I try and think about what I just said.
Well, for the beta, I'm not sure if you guys actually noticed, but if you hovered over each specific spec, you could see what the car you owned looked like in a different spec.
Yeah.
If you know what
I
I'm
mean? A thumbnail.
Yeah.
View thumbnail.
Damn, that skyline perspec looks naughty. Like,
I just like to.
If you like ricing up cars and you like, doing Underground 2 type customization where you can lower the car down, put a big spoiler on it, put a huge wide body kit, having the circuit spec is where it's at. I mean, Jesus Christ. I'm going to be using that circuit spec non-stop just because of how the car looks. It looks so nice in circuit spec. That's just something random I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
I've actually
Another
figured
thing.
it out.
Another thing
you can't delete save data. That's what I was going to talk about. You cannot reset your profile because it's online based.
You can delete local beta or local saves on the Xbox One. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, it's because you connect to the servers, your save data's on the cloud, that sort of thing. But which leads me to what I was saying on Twitter earlier. If this is the case and it's saved on the cloud and GTA Online characters are saved on the cloud, why can we not play it on all systems now? That's really annoying. Because I've got my... say, like, I want to play it on Xbox One. As long as I've bought the game again and I've bought the system, why can I not keep my save data? It's a bit stupid.
Because they want you to dedicate yourself to a specific console.
But I mean, if you've got both, you
That's
just
simple.
then limit yourself to playing one and not buying on the other. So that technically, if you allowed them to do that, they'd make more money because you'd bother buying it again if you wanted to play with those friends. It's kind of like a bit stupid, really. Now
but the PS4 would rather have loads of people playing on there because their saves were already on there, and then going to Xbox and not playing on the PS4.
So wait, are you asking for you're basically wanting to be able to play with Xbox One friends on the PS4? Is that what you're saying?
Oh no. I can understand why that's not, that's not going to happen. But I mean, what I would like is my save data. So when I go onto the crew, it'll work. It'll be on like exactly where I was on each system.
Oh yeah. So like taking your PS Vita and going onto PS4.
Yeah. So
yeah,
because I mean it's simple enough. If the data is stored on their servers like it is, why can we not do that now? It's like it's a bit odd. But anyway, yeah. The main reason I went off something there, you can't delete save data. That's what, because I wanted to record the intro because it would be very, very similar because, I could just hold accelerate and go the same direction and show you the difference. But yeah, you can't delete save data. So that might be one thing that I find a bit annoying. Say I do eventually want to start again or something. Because with old games, like when you go back to an old game, you want to start again. Usually, you don't want to carry on where you left off.
I think that's something they'll patch down the line.
Hopefully. I know it's like a small thing, but it's
a necessity at the same time.
Yeah.
Because like everyone needs to have the save. Like that's just like standard stuff, expected stuff, I guess.
Yeah. One thing someone tweeted to me earlier, I think it's Facile 3398. He actually tweeted a picture of the crew to me, and it said, the awards in the crew that you get. It had drive 5 miles in all 40 cars.
Only 40 cars?
So that's a bit odd because somebody on the TurboDuck forums, they've been like working together to put a list together of all the cars they've seen in trailers, and they've seen 62 cars.
Now, that must be just an error then.
There's a few options to this. There's one that's very dark, and I don't want to even think of that even being a possibility.
Go on.
But I was thinking it could either be they've added to the list since the beta that picture was taken in or whatever. There's cars that they just aren't in the beta at the moment or in the game at the moment. Or the darker one.
The DLC on
those
this DLC.
Yeah.
No.
And those DLC. That's one thing you just have to worry about because there's still a big publisher behind this, and they will do something like that if they can. So
shall we go on to the DLC?
I guess we could talk about that as well. But I mean, hopefully that's not the case, and hopefully it's just the fact that they added more cars in because they delayed it for a year, so that would kind of make sense. So,
yeah.
Hopefully that's the way they went, and not just made DLC.
Sorry, can we squeeze in a topic at the end? It's Ubisoft removing their game from Steam.
Oh, they actually added them back on.
Really?
Yeah, they removed them. I don't know why. It was just like Steam in the UK, I think it was, for a bit, and then it went to the US.
I heard it affected America as well.
Yeah, I think at first it was just the UK, but then they all went, and then obviously our friend Tuners actually has bought the crew on Steam, so he can't even download it or install it yet, but it had gone from the store, so it's like a bit worrying because you've pre-ordered a game, you're going to get it. But it's back up now. I don't know what that was, but it's a bit odd indeed.
Okay, should we talk about the season pass and the free updates and everything? So, if you guys didn't already know, the crew going to have 4 car packs. You're going to have an extreme pack, a speed pack, a vintage pack, and a raid pack. That's all going to come with DLC cars. On top of that, you're going to get some stickers, rims, and liveries. 52 rims and 106 liveries, as well as 4 stickers with the season pass. In addition to this, you're also going to get a Ferrari 458 Speciale and a McLaren 12C. And then that's just in the season pass alone. Then on top of that, you're going to get free updates. You're going to get 16 new missions over the DLC period. You're also going to get some PvP modes, new features, and a bunch much more with the free stuff. And then tuning access. I'm not sure what this means. It just says tuning access.
That confused me.
You're going to get
I've read it out still, but I wasn't sure what it meant. So I don't know. They didn't explain it.
Tuning access.
Maybe that's like another DLC season pass thing. I don't know.
No, I was thinking it's probably something to do with like the progression in the game, because it just having an extra season pass would be.
But they're going to add this over time.
Yeah, so I'm guessing it's like, I don't know, tuning access. What could that be? It could just be like if you bought the game. I don't know, like.
Tuning access. It honestly sounds like. Wait, is this a patch feature you say?
Yeah, they're going to be adding
tuning
this over
access
time.
is like content they're going to add over time, such as stickers, liveries, interiors, and tuning.
Five new sticker categories, 2 livery categories, 2 interior categories, and 24 additional tuning kits.
So, I'm thinking it's got to be to do with progression. That like you've got to be like certain way through the game or something.
Something else I noticed on the little like graph bar thing I've got here is each other bar ends at a certain month. So the season pass is going to end in May 2015.
Yeah.
The free updates are going to end in August 2015. However, the events and tuning access are going to carry on past August 2015.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what to think of that.
Actually, they say they all pretty much point to August 2015, but is that when it's going to end, or is it just like pointing to mean it's going to continue after that point? You know, it's a bit. It's not really clear on that.
Well, the season pass alone.
The season pass literally stops dead, but the green lines carry on, but there's like arrows that point up to August 2015. It's like.
See, what I'm thinking is they could have like season pass number 1, then season pass number 2, sort of thing.
Because if it is going to be a long-lasting game, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Like,
I was expecting a lot more free DLC, to be honest, in terms of cars.
I expected a couple of cars for free DLC, but I can understand why that wouldn't be the case.
I can't really.
Well, like I'm sure cars take a lot longer to make, because you have to think, you get, I think it's 14 cars out of this season pass, which doesn't seem a lot. But then you've got to consider, normally with car passes, they produce these cars and you buy them. But with this, you've got 14 cars that have got how many different specs, and then you've got lots of different bumpers and rims and everything that is special to that vehicle. So there's a lot of work gone into it.
You know something that really worries me? Just looking through the names of the packs, you've got the Extreme Pack, Speed Pack, Vintage Pack, and Raid Pack. Now, tuners aren't going to be in the Raid Pack, definitely not going to be in the Vintage Pack, and they're not going to be in the Extreme Pack. The only slight doubt I have of them adding tuners is in the Speed Pack. I don't think they're going to add any more tuners in, and there's a real lack of Japanese imports in the game, and I'm really scared for that. Like, there's the 370Z and the Skyline, and that's it.
R35 as well.
And the R35, and the only chance we really have of getting another import car is in the Speed Pack, when really they need to add quite a few in. Yeah. Like, they're missing the RX-7, and Mazda isn't even licensed at all. So no Mazda, no RX-7, no RX-8, no MX-5, no 240SX, no 350Z, no Silvias.
A Silvia S13, yeah.
No A86s. No, nothing. Like, there's literally no imports in the game, and the DLC, just from looking at the 4 standard packs, the names don't really shine too much hope upon me, to be honest.
Yeah.
And really, the main people that wanted this game, the main people that were really rooting for it, were the guys back from Underground 2 and Most Wanted 2005. Those are really where the hardcore fans come from.
Yeah.
And they want their tuners. Like, I'm pretty sure you guys want them as well. Like, you don't just want the 4 choices. And really, the R35, that's a supercar, so we can't really count that. So basically, 2 tuners. Like, that's a joke.
It is lacking in the tuners, but I don't know. I don't see it. I see it as an issue, obviously, because it's a car game and it has cars that we want.
It's doing a Driveclub, but to a lesser extent. Obviously, Driveclub is just ridiculous. The crew isn't the case. It's got some, but it's nowhere near got enough at all. It's a bit
odd.
It actually annoys me because when I first saw this game, I was like, wow, I can't wait to do it with my RX-8 again. That's not even the fucking game. You know, like, that's such a joke. Like, imports especially are known for, people customizing them and stuff. And the fact that you can't get an R33 or an RX-8 or an RX-7 or whatever the tuner of choice may be and do that up, it annoys me so much. And the fact I can do it per 12C, like, when would I ever want to do it per 12C? I'm pretty sure more people would want to do up a RX-7 than a 12C. And there's probably going to be more options for the RX-7 because you can make that into a dirt car, you can make that into a street car, you can make that into a performance circuit, you can make that into all types of things. Unlike a 12C, which is only going to be a racing car, like a track car.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Rant over.
Yeah, they have. I don't know. It might not be a thing with them. It could be anything really. It could be licensing stuff.
Another thing.
Yeah.
I remember. I can't remember who. I think it might have been Tuners actually. Another a friend of ours. He tweeted Julian saying we need the Supra in the game, and he goes and he kind of hinted at him saying, oh, they might be coming in DLC in the future, or we're going to try to implement this into the future. No, you're not. Like, don't even tease us because I'm looking at the names right here. Speed Pack. That when I think of Speed Pack, I think of M3, maybe I don't know. Some Ferrari. When I think of Extreme Pack, I'm thinking of a Koenigsegg. I'm thinking of P1. When I'm thinking of Vintage Pack, I'm thinking of some old Aston Martins, maybe an F40. And then Raid Pack, I'm thinking of like.
I'm thinking old muscle cars for the vintage.
Yeah, exactly. And then Raid Pack, I'm thinking like trucks and shit, which I'm not interested in at all. So I really don't know.
I'm interested in all of those. I don't know. Like, I can understand that people would want lots of cars, especially tuners, because there's a massive lack of them in the game. But it's not going to stop me enjoying the game, I don't think. But
no.
It is something that I would like to be in there because.
Don't get me wrong. It's not going to ruin the game. It's not going to be a make or break factor. But it's very, very, very disappointing.
One thing actually, someone that sent me the car list of seen cars, they actually saw the Celine S7 in there. Now. That car, right? I've only seen in I can't remember. I think it
Midnight
was
Club LA.
Yeah, I saw it in Midnight Club and I saw it in LA Rush. Those are the only the arcadey games that I've seen it in. And I really love that car from playing with it in LA Rush. It was like the fastest car in that game, and I haven't seen it since. But I actually, when I saw it in the list and saw the picture of the car, I was like, oh, I'm really excited to try that. But that's just a kind of small topic. And another thing. The Spiker C8, I haven't really played around with that except on Driveclub, really. It's a really odd car, but that's in there as well, in the crew.
Oh my god, the Spiker's really? In there.
Nice.
Yeah.
But an RX-8 isn't. Come on, Ivory. Come on, that's a joke.
What else have we got? The McLaren F1, McLaren 12C, the Mazda brand is confirmed, but the models are unknown.
Are they?
Yeah. So if you watch, there's like a trailer, actually, I didn't notice that until now. There's a trailer that at the end it says Mazda names, emblems, body designs and logos under the approval of Mazda Motor Corporation at the end of the trailer. So they must have something in there.
I mean, they haven't announced the full car list, but
they just add
all we know so far,
and
all we know so far, through the trailers and through everything else, it looks. I'm not very, very hopeful.
And it's kind of weird how they haven't done what Forza did and kind of reveal cars over time. Because it seemed like what they did is, here's a bunch of cars that are going to be in the game. These are some tuning options you can do to it, like street circuit, whatever. And then that was pretty much it. And we saw a couple more cars at E3, and we've kind of had to piece the list together ourselves, which I guess is cool. But I'd rather them kind of show more pictures, because I've seen them tweeting pictures of some of the cars we already know about. So why not tweet pictures of the cars we don't know about, tease us up until launch?
Two cars I'm really looking forward to driving are the old Lambo, the Murcielago. Yeah. That looks sick. And the M5.
Generation.
Pardon?
It's the first generation one in the crew.
It's not the third. I think it's like the third or fourth.
Murcielago 2008. It's the LP 640.
Oh, that's the second one.
Yeah, second.
And then they've got the Gallardo LP 570-4.
Second as well, yeah.
And the Aventador LP 704.
I don't like the Aventador, so... Yeah.
Why don't you like that car? Let's get this out of the way.
And they've also got Miura, which I'd say the Miura is my favourite, like, old...
Is it the concept or the actual Miura?
The actual Miura.
Or just classic.
I love the Miura. It's a car that's old, but I'm not really a massive fan of cars that are look really dated and old, because I hate the Ferrari F40, and now I'm probably gonna get assassinated. I'm gonna get assassinated for saying that. So, but I love the Miura.
Good luck for you. That's what I'm saying.
I just don't like old looking like supercars. They just look a bit odd. But the Miura doesn't. It hasn't aged. It looks beautiful.
The F40 is the sexiest thing. Oh my god.
No, that's like the F40 is like one of the realest Ferraris out there.
I remember.
I don't like it.
GT5 intro. I remember that shit. Oh my god, when it. Oh, don't even get me started. I'm just getting. I'm getting a boner right now.
Because they released the Ferrari car pack for Rivals, and I was like, oh, they released 2 boring old Ferraris, and people were like, how could you say that about the Ferraris? And I'm like, oh, okay, they have some significance then, because I just don't like them. But I'm gonna get the shot or something like as soon as somebody sees me. Yeah. But moving on.
Hashtag unsub Theo in the comments. I want to see it.
One thing I find a bit odd, as well as the car for the car list, the only hypercar. Well, I guess there's 2 technically, but there's only one proper hypercar, which is the LaFerrari. They've also got a Koenigsegg Agera R, but I don't know. I don't really class those as the same as the LaFerrari and the P1. I kind of class those as a field of their own because of how they work and stuff, and maybe the Wyra goes in there as well, to be honest. But I don't know. The P1, what's it called? The Porsche 918. Obviously, they can't get that because obvious reasons. But I don't know. I feel as if there aren't enough hypercars.
Oh, you can't.
Which is the first. This is the first time I've actually probably said that in my life. I can't. There aren't enough hypercars. I actually want them to add a Bugatti Veyron.
No, please. I want to see my RX-7.
No, but if the point is, if they add a Bugatti Veyron into the game, it's gonna be like it's matched with everything else. It's not gonna turn terribly. It's gonna, it's gonna be fine. So I don't know. I think this is the only game I would actually ask for a Bugatti Veyron.
I just want my I just want my RX-8
Just
back.
put the normal one in there. Maybe the one with the convertible roof. I wouldn't mind that.
Julian, I know you're watching this because you watch all of Theo's videos, and I'm saying, I'm telling you right now, if you don't add my RX-8, damn son, I'm gonna be mad. Because if you don't add that RX-8, or even the RX-7, or just the Silvia, or the 350Z, or any of the, oh my god, if you don't do this, I'm just gonna cry myself to bed every night.
When making a street racing game, it is law to put in the Supra, R34, and RX-7. Those 3 legends need to be in a racing game.
You heard it straight here from Martin. It's fucking law.
It is the law.
Oh, and BMW M3. Thank you.
Theo.
They've got to add that in. I want to put circuit spec on a BMW M3, and you know exactly what I'm going to try and make that look like.
Yeah.
With a vinyl editor and a vinyl marketplace, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
they've actually got some pictures on this post as well, showing the cars with their, on the table you see with all the street dirt, performance raid, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It shows some of them, and the Murcielago has performance and circuit only. The Wyra only has performance. The Aston that we drove in the beta, that only has performance, which I think is a bit weird.
We actually drove the only...
the only... and full stock.
Why doesn't it have circuit?
And the Koenigsegg, that's only performance. The Bentley Continental Super Sports...
Which I'm never going to drive.
Performance and circuit only. Why is that circuit and not the Koenigsegg?
Why do you waste your time doing it on a Bentley? Like, who drives Bentleys? 50 Cent. 50 Cent's not playing this game.
And the LaFerrari only has performance spec. It's like, why in those circuit spec as well? Because those would fit. It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
But then you've got the R34 that has everything. Happy about that. Can't wait to see a raid spec R34.
I just want a circuit spec or a performance. I'm in heaven.
I like that all the muscle cars and like the lower end cars go to everything. The
I tell you what, one thing Forza Horizon 2 does well is its car choice. I'll tell you that right now. Horizon 2 didn't last as long as I thought it was going to last for me, but I'll tell you what, their car choice is damn bloody good. They've got the tuners, they've got the hypercars, everything is so well balanced in that game.
Yeah, they do have the list sorted out, unlike Gran Turismo, which is its main competitor, which has about 100 different R35s.
Well, even like Horizon.
Yeah.
That I thought they did a smacking job.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the crew.
Well, that's half the podcast gone.
Yeah, that's actually been about 30 minutes, so we should move on to another topic, which is probably going to also be long. Driveclub. Probably talk about that. So, for anyone that actually wants to return Driveclub, you can. Just wanted to talk about that because it's been... Has it been a month now? I think it's been a month. It's been over a month, I think. I don't know. I can't remember. But it's been quite a damn long time since the game came out now, and it's still not running 100%, which is one reason as to why I haven't done a review yet, because I want to review the final game. But the final game is still not here. They've turned challenges on, which is one step closer to it, and those don't work. They display times and of like impossible to get. It's like, oh, this person did this corner in a second. Oh yeah, of course they did. And this person drove in this section at 3,000 miles an hour. Okay, yeah, I can beat that. And then there's supposed to be another challenge bit that you can go on, and it's got just that part of the challenge that you can keep redoing, which is disabled, and the app is disabled, so I can't spectate my friends, and it's just still slow, and it's getting there. I hope it really, really does, because it could honestly be... It's going to have a much smaller audience now that the fact that people that bought the game can now return it, and the fact that the game is still broken about a month after launch. But I think once it settles and it's all working fine, I think it will have a really good community that kind of plan all these events together with the app and that sort of thing. And obviously they've got the free players coming in when they release that as well, which is...
This is the first game I've actually seen that has broken a law. I think about that. Like, there's no other game I can think of off the top of my head besides Manhunt which has broken a law.
I remember SimCity really was broken for a while.
Oh yeah, with EA, of course.
Yeah. Oh, and Battlefield.
Yeah.
And Need for Speed.
but they didn't break laws. They were just shit games.
Yeah, but they released the game broken and didn't have any intention of fixing it. That's my main problem with it.
I saw a quote somewhere. It was like, a delayed game will once be good. However, a rush game will always be crap. that was the quote. And that still reigns true today.
They had it a year, and it's still broken. I don't understand.
It's not even that. It's just the servers, and it's just buggy. It's just really...
It's not even that. It's also their 10-year concept.
Exactly. Like, the whole concept of this game was to be, I can be on the bus on my way to work. Oh, my club is doing an event tonight. Accept the event. All right. We'll get home, do the race, you know...
Then you see the crew. You see the crew in your games list. You think, nah.
But no, it's supposed to be a really it's for everyone. Yeah, they've got the free version. If you're not really into racing games like we are, and we picked it up, kind of thing. You pick up the free version because it's there. You'd play with your friends that have the full game and see if you like it. And it's kind of got the handling. It's probably got the best handling model when it comes to the sense of it being very easy to pick up and kind of like the hard to master thing. I've heard that so many times, and it's always utter bollocks until I played this game, because like when you hit a wall, the way they've done it is because it's a really simple way of doing it, but when you hit a wall, it doesn't slow you down drastically. I always said dramatically. I don't know why I keep trying to say dramatically, because that's not a word, but it kind of it doesn't slow you down, and if people kind of cut corners, it penalises them to put them back in the pack, and it's kind of a very balanced game. But if they got it right at launch, then maybe. But they just...
Am I the only one that thinks Driveclub feels really inorganic?
Inorganic?
By that I mean the cars feel like they don't feel like in real life.
Oh,
at all.
definitely. But that's because you play in third person.
No, I play them, but I've played them both a lot. I haven't touched that game in a long time because
Like-
I.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, you go if you want.
All right. So I played a lot of the game at launch because, you know, I said I'm having much more fun than I did with Horizon 2 because the gameplay is just really, really intense when you play in the cockpit view. Like, it just, when you get towards the end with the Hennessy Venom, I had to do, like, literally 30, 40 laps to get that bloody time. It was impossible. But it was a lot of damn fun to do. I never got to the point where this is really annoying, I hate this game. But now that I've actually just added on to my experience, I got a wheel recently, if you've seen my videos. I had to go on it last night of Driveclub, and at first it's like, it's kind of weird because I've been using a controller for so long and you're not used to the car literally pulling you with the wheel into the direction it's actually going, and you've got to fight against that. It just adds to that intense feeling once again. I was trying to commentate on a video for like my first drive with it, and I kept getting out of breath because the wheel kept pulling me to the side and stuff. So
Yeah,
I was
you need
just
to go for some runs or something, man. Jeez.
No,
You're sitting down
seriously.
moving a wheel.
It is honestly like a workout because you're trying to. This wheel is a 1080-degree wheel, so like as soon as the car spins, it's spinning around like crazy, and it is honestly the most intense racing game, and it adds another layer which I'll probably talk about in my review. But Driveclub got driving right, and it's a shame that it didn't get anything else right because it would have been a solid game for, you know, being the game to go on, like when you organize online club races on the app and that sort of thing. Because I was actually talking about that on my forum, in where I was saying how I'd like kind of a dashboard like that for the next Need for Speed or something. Like you can organize a street race with, you know, club mates or something to happen, and it being open world, you meet up there. I know it's like kind of overcomplicated and stuff, but I want something like that or close to it. And if Driveclub got this right, I know it's a track racer, but it would have still been a really good experience. It would have lasted a while. But
This would
because
have
of
been
all
the
the
Gran Turismo
problems,
killer.
and that's what I was thinking, because Gran Turismo, it has I don't know, Gran Turismo just seems...
It's not on the top of the ladder anymore.
No,
Yeah.
it sells, right? It sells well still. I actually it's outsold. I think it sold 5-6 million. I think.
That's super good.
So
I actually
Forza
think
sold
it's still on
2.
top of the ladder.
It is on top. It's because obviously I think it had the advantage of launching on last gen, obviously, because these 2 new games, or 3 new games now, because Forza comes out every year. They have only had the small amount of people on the new gen. But I think if Gran Turismo launched on next gen now, it would have serious competition when if Driveclub launched very well, and you know, obviously they got Forza coming out the same year, so that's going to be interesting actually.
I really, really hope Gran Turismo just brings the smack down. I really do.
But
Like,
anyway, I think Driveclub, what it does is shows what Gran Turismo should do. Not go like full arcade, that's not what I mean, but I mean it needs to make the driving more fun, because like people were saying they snored at the wheel on Driveclub. I could not, because if I did, I would crash and lose the race. But on Gran Turismo, it's just like driving in a straight line, listening to a vacuum cleaner, trying its hardest to get down this road, and the AI following like this exact same line and never trying to fight for your position, and the bumps of going boof, boof, that's all Gran Turismo is, and just hearing a vacuum, it's boring. And if they had an overhaul of what it is, you know, removed all the 100 R35s and just made the new model and threw that in there of all the cars, because of probably like 300 MX5s, simplified everything, you know, made it more user-friendly, made an app to organise events and that sort of thing, and a club like you do with Driveclub, that's sorted.
Martin, you go first, because I've got a really long reply to this.
Well, I was going to say I mostly disagree on what Theo said. Personally, I absolutely love Gran Turismo. Been playing it since Gran Turismo 2, and the only one I got after that was 5. But with 6, the reason I skipped that is because I felt it should have been on PS4. But anyways, Gran Turismo, the only problem I have with it is kind of like it doesn't capture the feeling that Forza has, like presentation-wise. You know, they went more in depth with Top Gear and Jeremy Clarkson and all that. Gran Turismo does not have that. The only thing I hate is like Theo said, the vacuum noises and yeah,
You guys are
that's
missing
it.
one huge thing right now: premium and standard cars.
Oh, they need to get rid of that. They need to get rid of that. In
Oh,
fact, I've already mentioned this in one of my videos before.
R34 standard, then
What I don't
R34
get.
premium.
I don't get that. That's what I mean. Like they've got both.
Oh,
Why?
wait. Which one's standard and premium?
Well, they're
So-
both in the game. Like, there's literally two. There's one Skyline which is standard, one Skyline which is
That's what I
premium.
mean. They've got like 200 MX-5s. There's about 100 that are standard and about 5 billion that are premium. So why have you got the standard ones?
I don't even
Why
mind
have
that.
you got the standard ones though?
You can
What's
have
the
100
reason?
in there. You can have 100 in there, but when it's the 1994 model and then like the 1994 mid-year model,
Yeah,
Get that shit
that's what I
out.
mean. Like they've got how many different versions of the R35, right? They're exactly the same. The only difference is they come in a different color, and
And body
one's
kit.
standard and one's premium, and no, not even that. Some of them literally are just a different color, and they sell them
the black
there.
edition.
It just confuses me because why? I'm scrolling through this menu trying to decide, which would be better for this type of car. Wait, I'm going to compare all these stats of these cars, go through all of them. Oh wait, they're all identical, except this one doesn't have a cockpit over here, and these 50 other cars, they're exactly the same. I've got to decide because, the colour, I can get the colour, and it's just...
Yeah.
They've just been adding in and adding in and adding in, not taking out the old rubbish. And that's what I think Forza did well. Even though people complained, oh, there's only a few tracks, there's only like less cars than the last game. The reason for that is because they just started from scratch. They scanned the tracks and remade the cars for that console rather than being, oh, let's just bring the PS2 cars onto the PS4 like they are with Gran Turismo 7. It's kind of annoying.
I
to
hope
me. Like,
that Gran Turismo doesn't become the next Need for Speed and just neglects its fans and then ends up selling like 2 million.
Better
the
not.
thing is, though, I don't. Even if they did, I think people would still buy it, and because it has the name and it's really the only proper simulator on consoles. Like, Forza is a simulator technically, but it doesn't feel like a simulator at all. It feels very arcade tapped because it's a little bit more fun, and Gran Turismo just is that simulator on PlayStation, on a console. And
They need to work on the camera as well.
yeah,
Body kit customization, livery
Yep.
customization, rim customization. All I'm saying, Julian, if you're watching this, you can change the size of your wheels on Gran Turismo. Enough said.
okay, fair enough.
And you literally when the game that has 3 types of skylines, a black edition, a normal edition, and then like an economy edition.
Way more than that. You got the
Probably-
Mines version, the Nismo version.
They should have a section
Black
just
edition.
for the skylines. Like,
Yeah.
Skyline submenu.
yeah. And then
Nismo.
you're on Nissan, and then you go onto that car, and here's 1,000 of that car. Here you go. Which one?
Even then, the fact that I can change my rim size on that game, that's saying something. Like, I'm just saying, the crew, I'm just saying.
And they all sound like vacuum cleaners.
Apparently, they're sorting out the sounds.
I hope so.
Oh,
I read
But that's
somewhere
gonna
that
take. What are they gonna do? Are they gonna add the sound to the standard, or be like, oh no, all cars that were in Gran Turismo 6 are gonna have the vacuum sounds?
No, they got
But
a
the
new sound
ones,
guy.
But the new ones that we add in and make for the PS4, about 5, they'll have new sounds that are very nice. Though I must say, there are a few cars on Gran Turismo that sound so much better and so much more real than they do in Forza. The LFA is one of them. The LFA sounds almost spot on in Gran Turismo. It doesn't in Forza. And the Mazda's... I can't remember the name of it.
MX-5, RX-8, RX-7.
No. It's the race one. The orange one.
is it the Fura by any chance?
It's the 7B something. I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I know the one you're about, the touring car, the
yeah,
mod thing.
That is spot on sound wise. In in Forza, they made it sound like an F1 car, and it's like.
I will say one thing that they did really perfect in Gran Turismo 6, and that was the soundtrack. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
They get random songs from like random Japanese people. And
Yeah,
it's
and they
just
sound.
amazing.
You just kind of look. GT5 had some really weird menu music, but at first you're like, that's a bit weird, but then you kind of just find yourself like singing along to it or something. It's like, it's really addictive music, but
This
I
path I have to take. It's sad I know that song, but
Anyway.
it's not at the same time.
we should actually talk about car damage, because that could be related to this as well.
Yeah.
Car damage in games. Martin decided to bring up this topic, so do you want to go first on this?
Yeah, I do. Okay, so car damage, personally, I really don't care too much about it. Now, of course, people need to understand that there's cosmetic damage and more of mechanical damage. And a game that has both is usually a simulator. Now, Gran Turismo tends to have more of the mechanical damage, but they don't really bother with the physical. In terms of cosmetic damage, I really don't care too much, because in most games, it just repairs the car in a kind of arcade manner, like driving through a garage. And yeah, it's just, I don't really care too much about it.
In the Cruise case, the car actually regens. That's just something I decided.
Oh, I'll talk about that in a minute, because they actually changed the damage model, so it's a bit odd. Should I say it now? Or do you wanna...
Martin, carry on.
Yeah, Martin.
I mean, like, in terms of seeing actual next-gen damage, where it handles, like, say if we get another Burnout game, if we get amazing cosmetic damage, I would love that. But in other games, such as Need for Speed, we are not getting much. And I think that's it, really.
All right. Yeah, I'm the same. Like, I don't really mind damage. It's not a major thing to me. But I've actually saw, like, when people got the PC beta, I actually follow quite a few people from like this really horrible gaming group, Gaming Battlegrounds. I just it's full of like people that are kind of a bit slow sometimes. So it's like they are really into their damage and stuff. Like they're the people that don't really pick up races very much, I say, and they play COD, and that's about it. But damage to those type of people seems to be something that they really, really need in a racing game or something. It's like, one of the main complaints I saw from people was saying how the damage wasn't very good in the Crew. And I'm like, what? Like, the car scuffs up a bit. You can have, the car starts making more noises when it's damaged. You can crash it out if you go head on into a wall. What do you want? Like, do you want it to crumple in like it does on GTA? GTA isn't even that good, to be honest, but I'm not really bothered about damage. I can do without it. In most videos on Forza, for example, I turn the damage off, because if I'm showing a car, I don't want it to be damaged and stuff, because otherwise you're not gonna see the car in how it should be. But I think obviously with simulators, it needs to have the damage in where your steering gets damaged, your engine gets damaged, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Can I say,
One last.
am I the only person that actually prefers having like Most Wanted 2005 damage, where the car literally is like a card, like a toy?
Like a block.
Like, am I literally the only person that likes that?
I don't remember damage in Most Wanted 2005, to be honest.
Like, the door got like a bit scuffed, and that was it.
Yeah,
like,
and the windows
like,
smashed, and that was it. Because there was no
not even smashed,
interior
cracked.
view, but
because,
they cracked.
especially for something like in the Crew, like having something like that where it's not too extreme would kind of show off your car a bit more, and kind of like, I don't know. I really like that. I don't know whether I'm on my own here. For like Gran Turismo and stuff, I kind of expect a bit more damage, like actual like cosmetic damage.
Yeah.
But for like arcade games, I actually don't mind it, because I kind of like looking at my car in arcade games and having it all smashed up like in Rivals. Like in Rivals, by the time you go back to your garage, that wasn't a car anymore. That was just four wheels.
Yeah.
Like I like having the car literally looking like a toy. Like I like that. But I think I'm on my own here, to be honest.
No, like I don't mind damage, but it's not something I look for. Like, I don't go, oh, it's got nice damage, I like that game. The only games that I've looked into because the damage looks pretty cool, like one of the things, is obviously the Wreckfest. That kind of sold me on the damage thing, because that game is about smashing cars up, but in Gran Turismo, in Need for Speed, in Forza, in the Crew, Midnight Club, anything, damage to me, I don't care.
I think Midnight Club did well, actually.
I need.
To be fair,
but I mean,
yeah, that was alright.
I think Forza probably is one of the best ones because not because it is not the damage is good. The damage is okay. It's not brilliant, but it's good because I can turn it off. And I can, if I want to, I can put the damage on in where my car slows down a bit or I turn to the side a bit, which I think actually a bit weird because if my car gets damaged in a race online and I've got that on, so when I get damaged I slow down, nobody else has got that on. How is that fair? I don't understand.
But you get more XP, don't you? That's how it works.
I know, but you'd expect a bit more than that if you've kind of
penalising
really yourself and yeah.
You come first, but the guy behind you is drifting more, so he gets more XP and wins. No,
yeah,
it doesn't work.
But yeah, that damage to me is not a major thing. Let's say Underground 3, right? Is the next Need for Speed, and they I don't know. Would you want them to talk about damage, or what damage would you want them to be in?
Well, obviously no mechanical damage. No way.
I mean, yeah, exactly, definitely not. But like a swinging bumper, cracked window, falling off mirrors, that's fine.
To be honest, I wouldn't mind some form of mechanical damage if it reset after races.
No, I wouldn't want it. No way. No way.
I only say that because it would be a way to stop people ramming, I guess. I don't know. Like, I guess that's a good way to put it, because everybody knows that in Need for Speed, it's usually about recently tapping someone as soon as you get the chance to, and they'll go flying into a wall. That'll kind of be like, yeah, if I do that, I'm going to bugger the race for myself, so should I do this? I guess it adds that thought into it, and it'll stop people doing that. I don't know. Maybe it could be an option, at least.
I'm not a big fan.
Sorted out with just the handling.
Yeah.
Like in Underground, you try to do that, it won't work. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, like, I wouldn't mind it being there. Basically, if it was an option. If it's there, constantly, then I don't. But if it's optional, then yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
It doesn't fit in Need for Speed, in my opinion. Like, some games have certain characteristics. Call of Duty, that's always fast paced. Forza, that always has that special arcade handling. Sorry about that. And then Need for Speed, it doesn't have mechanical damage. It never has. I don't think it belongs in Need for Speed, but that again is just my opinion. Like, if
100% agree.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest culprit is GT. Gran Turismo needs to have, especially with 7, like amazing cosmetic damage. Because in GT5 at least, you crash your car, you need to do it at least 100 times just to get a bit of squidgy damage on the car.
And it was the same impact noise over, and it was so hollow and it's just.
I don't think like GT especially has really stepped up their game since GT4.
No, I've done an insane somersault in a car, and the car is just a little squidgy blob of like there's no damage on it.
One thing you have to praise Driveclub for is when a car flips, that is
game over.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. That is honestly, it feels as it should. It flips how it should. It's like they've got the weight right and the gravity right and everything. It feels like that. But if they can do it in an arcade game and get it close to realism in Gran Turismo, why am I just like rolling on my shell? And it's just like, it's a bit weird.
It is very weird.
The camera stuck to the car, so you're getting dizzy.
The camera on Gran Turismo is my most hated thing because it's just stuck there and it's not shaking on bumps in the road, or it's just boring.
I don't hate it like you guys. I don't mind it. Like I guess I kind of like it in a way, but I would like to see an action camera in there. To be honest,
yeah, that's why I find arcade games, one of the main reasons I find arcade games more fun, and I find Forza better than Gran Turismo in the sense of the camera, because Forza actually, when you get hit by something, the car's sliding slightly and the camera slowly follows rather than being instant snap. Whereas, Gran Turismo, you spin out, the camera's just going to literally stay locked to the back of the car. It's going to look weird. And when you're drifting, it's locked to the back of the car and it's really weird. And there should be an option to another camera in there.
I'll tell you one thing that I really do respect GT for is they add DLC. Of course, they had DLC.
Oh yeah, they had the free Vision cars.
Yeah, they add those in, and there's more cars in the actual start game than DLC. I respect him so much for that. When I was going through Forza 5, because I only got that really late when I got my Xbox One, half of everything was DLC. I'm not going to buy this shit. The game's dead.
It's £40 for the car pass as well.
Exactly.
40.
on disc DLC, it's a joke. There's probably more cars on that disc I don't know about.
Yeah.
But then you go to Gran Turismo, and there's literally, in that case, so there might be 10 or 20 Skylines, but there's literally thousands, and so the car choice is amazing. Like standard or premium, it doesn't matter. There is so many cars to pick from, and I respect GT so much for that. Like the fact they haven't sold out.
You can get it.
There's literally cars for everyone. There's tuners, there's hypercars, there's German hatchbacks, there's everything.
Like in GT5, it's literally a trophy to buy 1,000 cars, and I was gonna do it. I'm on like 500 cars now. I was like, I can't do it. Give up.
Yeah, that is one thing that you got to praise them for. But I don't know at the same time, because at the same time as that, they've got about 50 to 100, like literally probably about 50 MX-5s, and most are irrelevant because they have the premium version of that exact same year, and it's like, why?
It is annoying, but to be honest, like just because of the amount of cars that are on offer, I don't mind looking through them. I don't think I mind as much as you do. I think the fact that there is literally like probably 2,000, 5,000. Okay, that's a big difference. Considering there's like thousands of cars on offer, I don't mind for any of this. I actually really do respect the guys at Polyphony for doing that, because like just seeing everyone, that they're all adding on this DLC and they're all doing this. I'm pretty sure they will add it into the next game, but the fact they haven't done it to this point, that makes me really happy actually.
One thing actually, GT5 I believe had DLC.
It does. Terrible.
It does.
DLC.
Yeah.
GT6 does not. I never thought of that.
I have to buy the Aventador as DLC in GT5, and I haven't done that as DLC.
There is literally DLC in GT5 and not in GT6.
Are they not doing DLC anymore? Hallelujah!
That's where they've got microtransactions.
Yeah, that'll be why. So that's not bad actually. I'm not, because that's where the new cars they're adding in are coming from. So I actually really like that model. Now that I've actually just realised that. That's how it should be. Whereas in Forza, they did the opposite, and they had DLC already, and they thought, let's add microtransactions. That's microtransactions.
I genuinely think that's Microsoft.
Yeah, that is Microsoft. But I actually didn't realise that. How have I not realised that? That is okay. That's good. That's
so many Forza gamers. Start the fan wars.
Turn 10 are the developers, right?
Yeah.
Forza. Did they even do like a complete edition or anything?
Nope.
They had a Top Gear edition, which came with one DLC pack. And at that point, all of the DLC packs were out.
They never did a Horizon, the original Horizon.
Sorry, no. It was Racing Game of the Year edition, not Top Gear edition, and it had the one Top Gear pack.
Oh.
And they never made a Forza 4 one. They never made a Horizon 1, like a full game expansion pack thing.
The main reason I did that is to shift a bit more. It's like when games come on PlayStation Plus. That's when they're at the end of their life cycle and they just want the last burst of money to come in. Because they've released Rivals. It's like, yeah, right, Need for Speed still exists. And they made like a trailer, the really low budget trailer of cutting up old trailers and putting new music over it.
Do that.
and selling the game.
I'm pretty sure me and Theo could make a better trailer than that. Like, that was shit.
Yeah, but I don't know. I hope just GT7 is like has some of the social features that I spoke about, like maybe an app. They have an app for the car list, but maybe having a club where you can post on a club board and say, hey, we're having
about any of the app stuff.
I would like that, because you're in a club, for example, and you say, right, we're having a drag session tonight at whatever time. You can accept that invitation. You go on your game, and it's just a nice way to organise it all.
It's kind of a gimmick, really.
I'd use it.
If it's cool. Imagine on the bus on your way home, and you just buy a Lamborghini from the store, and then you get home and it's on your console.
I do use the PlayStation, and is it Microsoft, like, what's the actual name called?
Smart Glass.
Smart Glass, that's the name.
Xbox.
I actually do use them. I do, like, whenever I get a message, I usually reply now, because it's so easy to reply on my phone. But having like a GT dedicated app, like I've seen the Destiny one, that shit is getting uninstalled right now. Like that is the worst thing ever. Like I've got all these types of other apps for separate games. I never use them. Like
I don't
ever.
know, like for example, if there was a GTA one, I would use that. You know, if there were like you
There
were
is a
able
GTA
to.
one.
I mean, oh yeah, but it's not
It's
to
shit.
do with a single player and stuff.
It has no relevance.
Oh, it has online stuff, but it's like your garage or whatever. But I mean, if it had, say in Gran Turismo or as in Driveclub, once it actually works, to see your club's progress, you can actually spectate your friends' races from the app on Driveclub once that actually works. You know, just little things like this. I wouldn't mind that in Gran Turismo because Gran Turismo has the advantage of being like a sim racer, which if you converted it to more fun, I guess, then you know you've got the app and it just has everything. It's the racing simulator game. Then you know what I mean. It's like it has what you would want. So I don't know. I think it would be good.
You know what I'd really like with the phone app is if they added a second screen. So on my phone, I could look at the whole track and I could look at what everyone was on the track, or maybe that's my rear view mirror and I can see everyone behind me or something across those lines.
It's just these little things. It could be done for used for anything.
It's just
I
like
think it would be pretty cool.
them actually using it and taking full advantage of the software and the hardware. That's the only problem really.
Because other than that, what next gen thing can they do with Gran Turismo?
They can do the drive cars,
make it look
maybe.
prettier. No, that's not really next gen. That's just
It's not. It's kind of a scam, but
yeah.
I mean, they can pretend. I mean, I'm pretty happy if they pretended. I actually don't know, to be honest.
Does GT6 have B-spec mode? It's where you let your driver drive.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that would work on that app.
I think it does.
don't think it did. No,
Let me Google this.
they've removed it.
Really?
Yeah.
Turismo 6.
That's
So
one thing actually. With
No, it's been added in an update.
Oh, okay. So with GT5, I remember you had to have your console on this option to leave it on. You'd wake up, you turn your console on, you go on the game, you press on this B spec thing, and you had to go on the Gran Turismo website from where you were and say, "Oh, do this race," and you wouldn't get any like visual aid, to how much progress you've done. It's like, oh, this is how many laps you've done. Congratulations, your racer has done it. You didn't get an idea if he's going to crash or anything. So if they did that, you see on a phone, like even if it's just like a little, digital car that stays there, and if he crashes, it comes up with an icon or something. Just something like that.
Okay,
from an
I'm
app,
a
then-
tad bit confused. It said it was on the actual GT6 website, but there's people on forums saying it's not, so I've not got a clue anymore.
It probably isn't. I don't know.
It might or might not be. I don't really know.
It was a cool feature, and it would be cool if I could spectate. As I said, if I could organize a club in Gran Turismo and see how they were doing in the latest event that I couldn't take part in on my phone, that would be pretty cool. See like where we are on the leaderboard, just little things, nothing major. Even if it's just like a leaderboard and you can post saying we're having this meet up tonight. 6 p.m. Join me.
Yeah, I just hope generally Gran Turismo. I just hope Gran Turismo 7 it just steps up to a whole new level. I hope it's the next GT4. That's all I want.
I hope so, yeah.
And that will obviously revive the series and actually bring some new light to it, because the way it's heading right now, it's Need for Speed. It's literally where Need for Speed was at the start of the Black Box decline. So we'll have to see how it goes, but I have faith in GT7.
And one thing I really need. A community manager, please.
And
they have
no
voice. Like they have no voice with us. Like what are they doing? They set up a website. Oh, we're working on sounds. Full stop. Okay. And they're like, oh yeah, it's going to be an update for GT7. I'm like,
it's nothing like how Playground Games and how
whereas every other studio
Ivory Tower are actually interacting like
even Need for Speed, right? As little as they're talking about now, they're still up. They're still posting things about Need for Speed related.
They sent
which
me
is
underground. They replied to an email of mine. That's all I'm saying. I got free shit from Ghosts, and that right there proves that they're trying to interact at least.
You kind of just need to relate something to a person, and talk to a person. And there's no person there for Gran Turismo. I know they're Japanese, but. There's got to be someone that can speak English there, or a slight English. Or
it's quite literally, they are a robot. Like, there's no other way of going around it. Like, I mean, there's Julian Garrity, there's Anna Bodel, there's who's the Horizon 2 developer? Ralph Holt.
Yeah, that's the one I was going to say. Yeah.
You know, all types of developers. There's Fergus, who's making the crew as well. Mainly the crew people there, because those are the main people I know. But
Yeah.
you know, all these people they're contacting. There's James Mount from Ghosts. They're all talking, but. Like, even the guys, I think, what's his name? NFS Drew, he talked to me, and he doesn't even make games anymore. But I don't know where any of the Gran Turismo developers are, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
they're just dead.
I know the guy that I assigned, like, I can't remember his name. The guy that I assigned with Gran Turismo, I know his face, but I can't talk to him because yeah, he doesn't. I don't even think he has Twitter, or he doesn't speak English. I don't think he speaks English.
He doesn't, because every time I see him on the YouTube channel, he's always speaking Japanese with subtitles. So, but you need to learn English firstly. Like, that's the main demographic here. You need to start learning English,
or just get someone that can, you know.
Yeah, or get someone to get you like a really good, like, upgraded Twitter account where all your Japanese converts into English and tweets it. That's what we need.
But yeah,
do you want to talk about your car meets first?
Oh yeah, just before we end. So
I have nothing to say here.
So, you know, GTA Online's coming out. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It's coming out on the 18th, and the weekend before, I'm actually gonna have my final car meet on GTA on PS3, just to say farewell. Me and my friend were driving around earlier, and I found this really, really cool place. It's kind of like an industrial site. I've put some pictures on Twitter, and there's literally 30 car slots right near each other, which is the perfect amount, and there's 2 extra ones a bit further away. But that was really cool. I found that. So it's like exactly the amount of people that can join GTA Online. So car meets, probably going to do a weekly thing. So if you want to join those, then join the crew. I've always had the crew link in my description. I've never removed that, even when I stopped playing GTA for like 2 months. Don't know why. But yeah, if you want to join the crew, I was going to say club, and then follow me on Twitter, and I'll tweet about that and that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's going to be cool.
So is that wrapping up the episode?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay then, so if you guys enjoyed, make sure to hit the like, subscribe to all our channels, links will be in the description below, and I guess we all hope you enjoyed this episode of Up to Speed, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.